John, it's Coral Challenge Cup action on Sunday. Bradford travelling to neighbours Keighley, a special Challenge Cup tie.
It is a special Challenge Cup tie, and I think there's a number of reasons behind that. I think, you know, Keighley's recent problems have been well documented, and I'd love us to go there with a great following. Obviously it would boost both clubs' coffers, and obviously I think they'll see a good game of rugby league as well. So I'd appeal to our fans to get along there, follow the Bulls, but also boost the coffers of our close neighbours, because they've done it tough. They need all the help that they can, especially financially. And you take that away from that, you just look at the performance challenge, and I've spoken to Craig Lingard actually just a couple of days ago, and he's absolutely delighted with his team and the spirit and the enthusiasm and the commitment that they're showing to the club. And he summed it up to me in one phrase, and he said, these lads want to play for Keighley. And when you get a group of players who want to play for a club, inevitably their performance as a group really does lift, and that's what I'm expecting on Sunday, a very tough challenge.
What do you make of Keighley's start to the season? Because they were hit with that -12 point deduction, John, and they've had 2 wins and a draw.
Yeah, they've started great, haven't they? They really have, and I'm really chuffed for Craig, because he's a mate of mine, but I'm really chuffed for the club as well. And it's just great to see a club coming through adversity through the other side. And they know full well that this year is a consolidation year for them. They've got a good man at the helm to help them do that, and I just see that they'll progress throughout the year. But obviously on Sunday we're going to do everything we possibly can to stop them progressing in the Challenge Cup.
In terms of team selection, John, is this a chance to rest some of the ever-presents?
Well, I mean, people like Conor Farrell's not going to play, because Conor, you know, he averages 40+ tackles a game. And when you average that tackles and you're carrying the ball 15 times, you know, you've got 50 to 60 collisions every week, so he'll benefit from a rest. So yeah, there's 1 or 2 that we've said, you know, you sit down, you rest up, because if you look at the big picture, we've got a lot of games coming up in the next couple of months, with a couple over Easter. We've got a trip to Toronto as well, which will obviously drain the players energy-wise. So I've got to attempt to use our squad in as sensible a way as I possibly can, and that's what we'll be doing. We'll be picking a team and a squad that we feel can win the game, but we'll also be bearing in mind the bigger picture as well of the Easter weekend, and obviously the travel to Toronto.
Is Sunday's game a chance to blood some of the younger players like Ollie Wilson, Evan Hodson, Alex Stevenson?
Well, it's a chance, obviously, to look at some other players, but I don't see it as a. I mean, I don't think putting Ollie Wilson in is a risk. I mean, I think Ollie Wilson, I think Steve Crossley and the other middles want to be looking over the shoulders and thinking, my God, we've got a good kid here coming through, so I better up my game, because I don't see that as a risk at all. And Ollie will be playing, yes, because he's a good player, and he's just itching for that opportunity, and I'm certain that he'll put a marker down. And when you look as well 2 weeks further down the line, should we progress into the next round of the Challenge Cup, that's when it's scheduled for Ross Peltier to come back. So our middle unit men, they're going to have a fair bit of challenge in the next few weeks, so they better up the game, haven't they?
Do you feel that the club has sailed through the adversity now, John, and the positivity's returning?
Well, I think the positivity were there all the time, and I think the positivity was how we were dealing with that adversity. So you know, I've been delighted with the players. I wouldn't have a bad word said about this group of players, because I'll tell you, they have worked their socks off. Every time they come training, they apply themselves. Every team meeting, they have the listen, the respectful, and they have good input. And obviously on the playing field, I think we've put in some good performances. And you look at our last 3 performances and you can get pretty excited when you consider the Bartlett performance, the Widnes performance, and then the Leigh performance. And that shows we're getting better. So I'm really pleased with them, I'm pleased for them, and I'm certain we'll improve further.
Your name's synonymous with the Challenge Cup, John. Would you like a Challenge Cup run with a club again?
Yeah, of course I would. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, Mick, I want to win every game that we played. So we'll end up at the final, won't we? So yeah, no, I'd love a Challenge Cup run, but you've got to do it. It's the Kenny Dalglish, we're in it. We'll take each game as it comes, and obviously the next game that comes along is Keighley Cougars at Keighley, so that makes it difficult with a squad who want to play for Keighley and who are playing well for Keighley, so we're going to be challenged.
In terms of Jordan Lilly, I believe he'll be available for the next league game against Dewsbury.
That's correct, yes. Yeah, it's just a slight risk this week for Jordan, and we ain't going to risk him because everybody saw with that game at Batley, an immense game that game. He's put a couple of man of the match performances together prior to that as well, so no, he ain't going to be risked this week, but we feel happy with who will be turning out at 6 and 7 anyway.
And in terms of Brandon Pickersgill, obviously a bit of disappointment, him not getting the nod last week. Can we expect Brandon to feature on Sunday?
Well, you'll have to wait and see, Mick. You know, the team sheets, I believe they're published at 2:30, is it?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock on Sunday, so as soon as they're published, I'll come up and see you and I'll put one in your hand and then you'll know.
Cheers, John, all the best.
Pleasure.
Cheers. Thanks, John.